Last two we'll lump it in together. So time and materials, so that's labor hours. So it's really, really simple. Time and materials is like pay for the laborers plus the materials. And then use cases really it's when you can't precisely define the scope up front and you have a lot of R&D, prototyping, exploratory work. This is really the type of contract you want to have. So it's for engineering trade-offs, it's really easier for those changes that are going to be going on for this. But you still must control that inefficiencies for those labor hours because you want to make sure that you're staffing to the right levels, not producing unproductive work in these contracts. The last contract type is, I'll jump into this one. So it's performance-based, outcome-based availability contracts. So that's when instead of paying for something specific deliverables up front, you pay for the outcomes. So X percentage of availability, some type of uptime when the mission is completed, is often used in sustainment, logistics, MRO, sustainment availability contracts. You really need that diagnostic tools, health monitoring, prognostics, and that maintenance for the engineering implications of this. So you don't want to expose yourself too much to faults but to have that reliability and spare parts and supply chain resilience throughout that. Dwayne, walk us through the last business impacts of both of those type of contracts.
Yeah, from time materials is really, like you said, it's, hey, I got some engineering work I need you to figure out, or I need you to figure out, explain to me what does, this new technology mean, and here's some hours to go do that. And so we'll present a white paper, right? And say, we call it where we just give them an engineering document to say, here's what it takes to do X, Y, and Z to build this capability to your new platform, things like that. So because they need just the basic information to say, how would you do it, right? And you'll see that from a time and materials standpoint, right? Or in a support structure where, hey, we might need some help with some flight integration. Here, we'll give you a time and materials contract just so we can have some people on site to help us. From a PBL outcome and availability base, it's all about, it's a lot of upside in it because the system is efficient. So if you got, again, and that's why it's in a sustainment MRO type world where you know the ability of what's going on with your diagnostics, your mean time between failures, how many spares you need, you have a good spares plan, what to do if an error happens or issue comes down, or aircraft on the ground or something like that. These are type of contracts you'll see in those MIFAs. So really high upside if you had an efficient process to execute it. It'll get in your teeth if you find a new problem under availability contract. It will cause all kind of trouble how to execute when you don't know what the issue is and you don't have an answer. You can get caught up on an outcome based contract, that's for sure. But PBL as well, right?
Yeah, you'll never get to the outcome.
No, you never get to the outcome. Exactly.